I don't know if I wasn't paying attention for a lot of my life, but I am paying attention now. And at some points, maybe around 2016, I think I was paying too much attention, from farmers to gig workers to Starbucks employees to uh this is class war what's happening right now. Class war is what's happening. It's not about left or right really anymore at all. This is all about, and one thing that I know is that we really have lost the humanity. And the first thing that a regular president would do would well wish President Biden and his family, knowing what his son has gone through and has since passed, because the end is inevitable for all of us. It could come sooner, it could come later. I think a lot about death, and I'm not trying to be morbid, but I lost my mom, almost lost my dad, but my dad is older. He's not as old as Joe Biden, but I think about mortality, and I'm grateful that my dad is around every day in my life. So, what we won't see is any sort of good, empathetic messaging from these Trump MAGA Republicans. They're going to not exactly politicize it, they're going to show it as a sign of weakness that this man has cancer. And it's going to be awful. It's going to be awful. I'm preparing you, because the shit they're going to say is going to really bum you out. It's a miracle that when people get on a boat, they don't instantly die, basically. This story I think about like all the time, horrific memory of my childhood. So there I am. I'm just on my little Cub Scout uniform, and I'm like always really stiff and nervous for stuff like this. You have the flag, and it's on a little post which is down by your nutsack, and it holds the flag in there, but you have to hold it up like this as a warning and as a public service. You do not have to do the facial recognition. You do not want to do the facial recognition. It is optional. Nobody's opting out, by the way. At the airport, nobody's opting out. They can, but nobody's doing it. Nobody. So that is all to collect information on you and your whereabouts at all times. Urge you to opt out. She's got to be like one of the worst people to ever be in government ever. If you look at her in front of Congress trying to answer questions, she does not know what she's talking about. And it's just disgusting. And we'll get to the news about Trump going to the Middle East. But Christy Dog Killer Gnome has like a security detail and everything, obviously. But she has a plane that's at her service. And she is demanding like a gigantic upgrade to the thing. She's demanding a private plane, a better one. She has one. She wants a better one. And it's just really disappointing that this is the state we're in right now. Gets his balls licked by every leader of the area, including Mohammed bin Salman, who murdered an American journalist and chopped him into pieces. And it's democracy for oil. It's our whole thing, our 250-year-old tradition of freedom and democracy being sliced off like a kebab. The 9/11 hijackers came from Saudi Arabia, okay? Let's not forget that Mohammed bin Salman chopped up Jamal Khashoggi, an American journalist, killed him. How could you forget that? Why would you go be celebrated by these people? This is literally class war. They want us to be the serfs, and they're up there and we're down here. But down here, there's a lot of us. Okay, there's a lot of us down here, and we were not going to be fooled into thinking that any of this is right or normal. Bribery in the presidential office, and this poor girl from Somerville that got shipped to the detention center. I still can't even wrap my head around how she wrote a blog post um, against the administration's policies and ended up in jail. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me that this is the country we live in. Be careful when you travel. Have your real ID. Don't do any facial recognition stuff. So this is like applies across the board on facial recognition. Don't do it at the airport. Don't do it at the bus station. I like to have a certain amount of posts every month for my paid Substack subscribers, but also it's always free. So I like to kind of pace it out and have a few every month, 3 or 4 posts, ideally. But sometimes I'm busy. Sometimes I'm traveling. Sometimes I'm in the airport.